All right, let's take a look at some completing and balancing problems. The first one, 5A, hydrogen nitrate plus copper 2 chloride. Hydrogen nitrate, you at some point are going to learn that it's also called nitric acid. But for now, we're going to deal with it being hydrogen and nitrate. Again, if I write just a plus, it implies a positive 1 charge. And if I write just a minus, it implies a negative 1 charge. Then copper with a plus 2 charge, as told to me by being copper 2, and chloride negative 1. On the left-hand side of the reaction, I am going to have HNO3 plus CuCl2, because when I put these two guys together with a plus 2 and a minus 1, it needs to be CuCl2. Then on the right-hand side of this equation, I'm now going to put hydrogen with chlorine. I need to remember to put positive then negative. Since I have a plus 1 and a minus 1, they go together as just HCl. And then I'm going to put the copper 2 and the nitrate together. Copper needs to come first because it's positively charged. And since copper's a plus 2 and nitrate's a minus 1, this will form CuNO3 2. Now I have my reaction completed, and I just need to balance it. On the left-hand side, I have 1 hydrogen. On the right-hand side, I have 1 hydrogen, so that's good. The left, I have 1 nitrate, and I have 2 nitrates over here. So I'm going to add a 2 there so that the number of nitrates is the same on both sides of the equation. Now this gives me 2 hydrogens on the left. With 2 hydrogens on the left, I'm going to balance it by putting a 2 here. That also now gives me 2 chlorines, and I have 2 chlorines on the left, so that reaction's done. The second one, ammonium phosphide. Ammonium is NH4 plus, phosphide is P minus 3, lithium is Li plus, phosphate is PO4 minus 3. On the left-hand side of the reaction, we will have NH4 3P. Since phosphate's a minus 3, I need 3 ammoniums to balance it. And since I'm adding a number to the ammonium, it should be inside parentheses. Plus Li3PO4. The phosphate is not going to be in parentheses because I only have 1 of them. Okay, on the right-hand side of this equation, I'm now putting ammonium with phosphate, which is going to necessitate 3 ammoniums to balance the phosphate. And I'm going to put together these 2. Lithium needs to come first because it's positively charged. Those 2 will go together as Li3P. I believe in this case, this reaction's already balanced. As a reminder, if you have more than 1 of the polyatomic ion, it should be in parentheses. If you don't, it shouldn't be. Okay, C, hydrogen chloride plus barium bromide. Hydrogen, chloride, barium is in the second column, so it's a plus 2 charge, and bromine is a minus 1. On the left-hand side of the reaction, we will have HCl plus BaBr2. On the right-hand side of the reaction, the hydrogen and the bromine will now go together. Plus 1 and minus 1 gives me just HBr. And the chlorine and the barium go together. Barium needs to come first because it's positively charged. And since it's a positive 2 and the chlorine's a negative 1, it'll be BaCl2. Again, you can swap the entire HBr and BaCl2, but within the compound, you can't flip-flop. It always needs to be positive ion, negative ion. To balance this reaction, I have on the left-hand side, 1 chlorine, on the right-hand side, 2 chlorines. So I'm going to balance that with a 2 here. Now that gives me 2 hydrogens on the left. So I balance the hydrogens. Now I have 2 bromines, and I have 2 bromines on the left. As a reminder, when we ask you to complete and balance, this entire thing is your answer. Okay, the last complete and balance. Aluminum is a plus 3 charge. Oxide is negative 2. Rubidium is a plus 1 charge. And telluride, Te, is a negative 2 charge. On the left-hand side, aluminum and oxygen will combine as Al2O3. Rubidium and tellurium will combine as Rb2 Te. On the right-hand side of this reaction, I now will be putting, I will be putting aluminum and tellurium together, Al2Te3, and I will be putting rubidium and oxygen together. Rubidium needs to come first, again, because it's positive, Rb2O. Okay, when I start looking at this, aluminum on the left and aluminum on the right are good, but then I have 3 oxygens here and only 1 oxygen on the right. So I'm going to add a 3 here. Now my oxygens are balanced, but I've given myself 6 rubidiums on the right. Well, I'm going to fix that by putting a 3 here, and now I have 6 rubidiums on the left. I now have 3 telluriums on the left, 3 telluriums on the right. I came back around, everything is good. And this whole thing is my answer.